here's the old water pump. It actually sits on a big giant metal tube in there. It's pretty grotty, with an O-ring on it. And so the reason it's hard to get off is it sits that way on the back of the engine, and you've got to unbolt those 3 bolts, and then you've got to pull that sideways to get it off that tube, but it was kind of seized in there. And then this sits against the back of the block as well, which is actually corroded away. That's how old and crappy this is. But the water pump is this front section, and that's the hole that it was leaking out of, which means the internals are toast. It says Toyota, so it's an original one. It hasn't been replaced. So who knows, it could be the original one from the engine.
Wow,
but we pull the front off, clean all this up, clean up that O-ring so it slots back in nicely, lube it up, fix all that, and then install it back on the engine. And then that's one absolutely crappy, messy, dirty job that does nothing for performance, but means you can drive the thing without it leaking green crap on the
You're
ground.
adding value though, Martin. Not just to the car, but to your life and the lives of all of our friends out there. You're nourishing the minds of many.
I would agree with you, except that in the world right now, there's about 500,000 mechanics doing this exact job on a car.
Yeah.
And they're probably better at it.
Oh, they're better at it because they're real mechanics and they do it all the time. But how many people today have done that on a SERA? One in the world.
That's
seriously one in the world.
No, that's
which is you.
accurate. Yeah, because I reckon there's a couple of thousand SERAs left in the whole world.
Oh, if that. They're still working
highly
as well.
valuable, mate.
Yep. Meanwhile, my job is not nearly as dirty, but these are little bolts here that hold on the caps that go on the wheel. They're just a little bit long, so I'm going to cut them down. Good advice, if you don't have one on your workbench, it's a really cool thing to have. You can do all sorts of stuff with you doing woodwork, metalwork or whatever. If you're cutting down bolts, put a nut on it first, and that way anything that gets burred on the end when you wind the nut off, it kind of, will clean it up on its way out. So get that nice and clean. Here we go. So once that's gone, it is going to be very hot, but it means when you wind that off, I can kind of feel that clearing up on its way out. And then hopefully, live and no edits, we'll go and put it in. That's hot. And actually make sure that it works. Ah, here it goes. In there, in there. Actually, let's just do a quick little test fit. Yep, we're good. We're good. Don't need those anymore. That through there. That one on there. Oh, the chromies. The chromies. What is it about this era, Martin? I don't know. It's just magical, isn't it? It's just a magical time.
It was pretty exciting. Like, there was a lot going on. People were really into it. It was the car scene. There wasn't really much alternative going on, like, especially in Australia, and it's fairly unique to Australia and unique to some of the capital cities, I think, too. You know, like Fast and Furious style is a thing. It's just slightly after this.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it was still chrome, but sort of heading a little bit away from that.
Yeah.
And it took inspiration from what people were doing. Like, that movie didn't set the scene. The scene existed, and then they sort of ran with it.
Well, the scene actually set the movie. And what's interesting about that is when we were over in LA and we met the James McCarthy and the other people that worked in the car department of Fast and Furious, because we worked with them for a couple of days, which was excellent. They were saying they go through the forums, they go through the Facebook posts, they look at YouTube videos and they see what kind of trends are going on, and they use that to inform what's happening in the movie. So if you're into that franchise and it's something that you're interested in, when you're making videos about your car and when you're posting them on the internet, it does actually become part of that big melting pot of, of the culture or the community of car modification.
So much is driven by
cool.
what products are available too. And, like you go to Japan Auto Salon a couple of years earlier, someone's brought out these chrome wheels and then some importer's there and he's like, hey, I'm going to take these to Australia and they're going to be huge. Next minute they are.
Yeah, that's
driven
right.
by magazines. They weren't internet videos back then. It was magazines and the odd DVD.
Yeah, that's right. All right, 1 chrome done, 3 to go. There's a lot of mud inside there. I wonder where he's living or what he did. It's a lot of mud. Look how much mud's on the inside of that wheel, man.
Whoa.
He's been off-roading or something.
Country roads. Having adventures. So the replacement water pump that you get is actually just the front section. doesn't include this housing, which looks a bit like a turbine housing for a turbo. Works in the same way. I'm going to clean that up because that's pretty gross, and so's that. But this bit is just what bolts on the front. It comes with a new gasket. Same kind of jam, really. Put that back together, put the gasket in there, but first I'm going to give this a nice clean.
So unlike some of the problems that Marty is encountering with the SERA, the biggest problem I have so far is that I can't get this center cap on because the CV shaft hangs out too much. Now, I'm not pulling that out and cutting it down when I could just cut a hole in this. I mean, I could run like this, like full JDM legit, but I don't think it looks very good. So my plan...
You don't think it looks very good compared to whacking a big hole in it?
Yeah. So that there...
Whatever works, man.
That there is 2 inches. So I have to transfer a 2-inch hole onto the front of that, and I'll go straight through the logo and then just put it on. And you won't even be able to tell that anything had ever happened.
No way. You'll never know.
It'll be flush.
It'll be flawless.
22 mil. I'm going to wrap the bottom of that in some tape. And then, no, I'm taking it seriously. I am.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I do need them again. Oh no, don't worry. That's fine. Yep. All right. Good. So I'm basically going to grind until I get to the tape. There we go. Yeah. Perfect.
36 mil O-ring. Oh dear.
Oh, is that the O-ring you don't have?
It's the O-ring I don't have. Might have an assortment somewhere here.
All right. So if you're drilling through something like this, make sure that you use something underneath it that you don't care about, so that when you're going through, you get a nice clean hole on the other side. One more. Yeah. Look at that. That's some seamless modification. It doesn't look big enough yet, but yeah. Look at that. That's perfect. Like actually perfect. All right, just a tiny little tidy up. Like a glove. So that there is lined up perfectly. Look at that. Wonderful. I didn't test fit this before and I should have. Let's just, oh, there we go. That's cool. All right. Prepare yourself for the brilliance. The NX Power. Unsurpassed. I did legitimately always want one of these cars when I was young. This is the kind of car that, you know, some people are like, oh, hopefully one day I get a Lancer or something. Like, well before I'd actually driven like a 180 or anything like that. It's perfect.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Dude, that's really neat. You did a great job. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Nailed it.
That'll do.
There's an O-ring missing from my water pump housing, so I've got to wait for that to come from the dealership. So the water pump otherwise is good and working, and we'll just go straight back on. In the meantime, it's time for... Dude, what are you doing?
I just got to do another
Don't do it. Don't do that on my car.
Why?
It's perfect.
It's just, I'm using it as like a,
I know why
scrap.
you're doing it. You're doing it to upset me.
Scrapoo.
This car is not scrapoo.
Scrapoo.
Don't worry about the rust. This is in Japan, like this is JDM car in Japan. This is not rust, man. Nothing.
As you were, Martin.
Don't do it.
I won't.
Okay. Anyway, so I found some wheels for this awesome vehicle. Did you legitimately drill a hole in the side of my car?
There's holes there in it. That's a speed hole.
Show me.
No.
Did you actually drill a hole in my
Nope.
car?
I didn't.
Did you?
Ah!
Show me.
Don't, you almost wrecked my chromie.
Show me. I got myself some wheels for this car, not realising that they're actually the wrong stud pattern. They were multi-fit, much like the chromies that he got, except they're multi-fit 4x114.3.
They're not multi-fit,
And
they're multi-sick.
and 5x114.3, which is great if you've got an Evo or an old Datsun or a 180SX. Not so good if you've got 4x100, which seemed to be a thing back in the day, just like with this car. So what I've got is this mess, or potentially the most awesome wheel spacer you've ever seen. It's actually a two-piece spacer that goes from 4x100 to 5x114.3.
How big is it?
It's massive, and it's like
Oh!
40, probably 45 mil or something big. It's two-piece.
Oh,
I
is
don't
that
even
one
know where
spacer that's two pieces, or is that two spaces?
It's one spacer that's two pieces. I don't even know where these came from. I found them in a box up with some of our oils up there, because I just thought, oh, I think I've seen some spacers that might help, thinking they'd be like 4 to 4.4 by 114. No, 4 to 5 by 114. So you can put Evo wheels on this thing. But I'm not going to do that. I've got something better than Evo wheels. But first, I'm going to put this spacer on, show you how that works, and then I'm going to go get my wheels. So these spacers use the original wheel nuts. You just need ones that are not too long to go in there. And then they got this massive two-piece thing and these ginormous screw things. Now, spacers can get a bad reputation. Talk to some drifters and they'll just go, use them, send it, use it anyway. I don't know if I'd run this on like a cars in a daily drive for a long time or do like serious track work with, especially with my last experience with wheel nuts. But with these, for the purposes of getting the thing to work and fitting my amazing wheels, which you're going to see very soon, I think this is a good solution.
You know what's funny, Martin? If you search hard enough on the internet, you're going to find people who will post up photos of, look what happened when I had spacers.
Yep.
But actually, there's people using them all over the place. Some cars have factory spacers.
Yep.
People are spacing out Golfs, Beamers, all sorts of stuff. But we'll see how it goes on the track. Martin, the people asked.
Yes, what
And
did
the
they ask
people
for?
are getting it.
What are they getting?
You haven't even seen these yet.
What is it?
Red chop lanyards,
Oh,
people.
sick.
So these are available right now. You can click the thing that's dropping
that's
down.
mad.
And these are awesome. If
Very
you've got
cool.
lots of cars,
Yeah.
you can color code all your different bits and pieces, clip your keys on the end. We've got them right now. We don't do a Patreon or an Ask Kicker or a Kickstarter or anything like that. We just, we
you know
have
what I love
some
about
merch.
these
If you
as
want to
well?
support us, then you can.
Do you know what I love about these? One handy thing is when you've got your key in your pocket, you can just grab the onion and pull it out rather than fishing around. Or if you've got your keys in like a backpack or a bag or something, and you can go, cool, house keys are on a red thing and car keys are on a black one, and then it's really easy to spot when
Yep.
it's like low light or something. I love that about
Yep,
having like
it's
different
awesome.
cool lanyard things.
So there
Very
you go, red chopped lanyards.
Love it.
Available right now. Thanks, everybody.
at
Going to get
this.
back to our chromies.
So then you've got these massive big screw things that are like hex nut thing. I've never seen spacers like this, by the way. This is all new to me. I put it on wrong, interestingly. Oh, it's keyed. It only goes one way. Good. This thing is keyed. It goes a particular way. I don't know why it's got two holes there. I guess that's so you can only put it on one way like that. I don't know how structurally sound these are. I have no idea. All I know is they're going to make my wheels fit and it's going to look sick. And
Right now, Marty, that's the only thing that matters, mate.
it is. I don't even know these are legal to run on the road, so this car's not going to be on the road, which is good. All right, it's on. Do you want to see the wheels? I'm going to get them. You ready to see the wheels, dude?
Dude, I'm
My
ready.
wheels?
I'm ready to see your inferior chrome wheel that will have nothing on my wheel. My wheel is pure performance pedigree. It's period correct. They're chromish. They're heavy. Here
Yeah,
they come.
dude.
Are they as good as mine?
They're better.
They're better. They're so much better than mine.
They're
oh my God.
18s, dude.
Far out.
They're
That is
massive.
so good.
They're the biggest, most feral wheels I've ever seen. And
How much does something like that cost?
These are $250.
The same.
Yeah, $250.
That's
for the set.
amazing.
Mine has like secondhand old. I mean, they're so hard. I mean, they're gonna smoke up like crazy, but they're so hard.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, good to go. Directional tyres, old school, mad. They're
Dude,
going
let's just do a quick comparison between the two of them.
on. I'll get my center cap.
Lay
thing.
'em
Hold
up.
on. I'll get my center cap thing.
and
Ow.
let's just see what's better out of the two of these. I do prefer the chrominess of mine, if you know what I mean. But they are more period correct. Marty's are more. What is with the holes in there?
You know what's mad about these?
Dude, what is this some like homemade holing that's going on?
Look, double unicorns.
It's got double unicorn. They're Stagia wheels.
Does yours have unicorns on them?
No, mine's got a. I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's the V for Volt V37.
Well,
Martin, is this? Can we just have a quick look down here? What's going on
that's
here?
That's multi-fit.
But that's not multi-fit. Someone's done that themselves.
So a lot of the time, I think a lot of these wheels came blanked, and then people would drill them to do whatever they want. I feel like it's 4x114 there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and you have some crossover, and it's pretty dicey. But let's have a look at them on the car.
That's very dicey.
Check it out,
Martin. I can't wait to see them. I'm excited.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be excellent. God, they're so heavy. I'm going to need back surgery just to put them on.
Do you need a hand?
No, I'll be right. Just got to brace myself.
You may well have just seen... I'm seeing now, Martin, what's going on. You've brought this car to exactly the place that it needs to be.
Yes.
Oh, yes!
They're huge and they're perfect.
Dude,
Aren't they?
they're so good.
They're huge and
they
perfect.
They fit.
Yep. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good.
Wow, dude, I'll admit it. It looks that looks better than mine.
It works, doesn't it? The big flare thingies, the rust, the slightly pitted chrome.
Just everybody move back for a second and bask in the glory that is the SERA with chromies. Oh, dude. That is incredible. Oh, and your double unicorn. Oh, dude.
Come on, dude.
Oh my God.
I'm so into it. I'm not even kidding. I'm so into that.
No, that is amazing.
It just works, doesn't it?
You've taken it exactly where it needs to go.
At it. Look at it. It just. Look, let's shine some light on there. Like,
dude,
look at
I don't even hate it.
I don't hate
Dude,
it
we got to polish them up. Before we do our final thing, we got to give our
massive.
cars a bit of a detail and polish them all up.
215, 35, 18 tyres, looks through rubber bands. Like, look at them. They're just ridiculous. And they're so old and so hard. They're not going to grip. They're going to be terrible. But that wheel is not terrible. It's the opposite of terrible.
It's amazing. And I reckon back in the day, a set of them would have been $4,000.
Oh, this is big money. Big money. Love it. All right, what else? I'm going to fix my ignition leads and my spark plugs, and I'm done. Spark plugs to go in. BKR 6ES 11 NGKs. Probably could have a smaller spark plug gap, knock them down using a tool, whatever. But that is the plug that is going to go in there. Very, very common. You'll find them everywhere. Boom. Done. Spark plugs fixed. Don't use a whizzer. Don't do this. It's a really bad idea. Don't do that. Like, use a tool. Like, use an actual proper tool like this. Ideally, a torque wrench is definitely the way to do it because you can make sure it's nice and seated properly. With that on, I can put on my new ignition lead like that. Bang. Done. And you can buy them as a kit specifically for this car. Comes with everything you need and plug it straight in like that. Done. Still really happy with it, but lots of annoying stuff like I got a broken engine mount. That's just boring. Like, fixing engine mounts is boring. Oh, it just literally fell out in my hands.
Oh, so it's just like non-existent.
I'll bring it and show you in a sec as soon as I unbolt this thing.
Oh, dude.
It's bad.
Oh, I feel for you, Martin.
Why? Because your car's perfect and mine's not.
No, because...
It's the curse of the Toyota, dude. What had happened with the similarly aged MR2?
Oh, the MR2 was just rooted. Like, it was absolutely rooted. Like,
The
no
same problem.
doubt about it.
Same problem. Look.
Oh, wow.
Oh, two-piece engine mount.
two-piece
Apparently there's like
engine
a way
mount.
to fill them full of silicon or something, but I think I'll just, if I can get a new one, I'll just get a new engine mount because they're pretty cheap. And that'll fix my problem.
Luckily, though, unlike the MR2, you should actually be able to get them in Australia, right?
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I mean, the motor, it's an imported motor.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it'll probably be the same as a normal Starlet.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Spewing.
there's the box tube. And there's the welder.
Done that before. No, I'd really like to have a proper engine mount in there if I can this time.
All right, that's good. It's on, it's working. So that has covered most of the service things that I've had to do. Actually, I'll look at gearbox oil as well, because that may be getting a punishing once we're on the track. And are we going to be on the track? Where are we going to be, people? start letting us know what the challenges are, because we're going to be coming back to check the comments of this video to see what it is that we have to do and to see who's going to win the $2,000 modified car challenge, even though the cars, as we know, cost $2,800. But let's not get too crazy with it, people. Let's just send them to where they need to be sent. Isn't that right, Martin?
What, the crusher?
What? You don't want to crush your car, do you?
Yeah.
Already?
I want the engine.
Before you've even lost?
Nah, it's good, man. It's a good car. I like it.
It's a good car. I like it. Send it to the crusher. Good.
You sent my car to the crusher.
I did.
It's all right. It needed to happen. It was a terrible car.
That is what we agreed on.
Terrible.
Though, so I think
yeah, but it needed to be crushed, man. That shell was bad.
Reasonable that it got crushed.
It shouldn't have never been reborn anyway. It was just bad news.
Not only, Martin, do I want to hear from people about what is going to happen when, like with all the challenges, like what are the challenges? I want to know what happens for the winner and the loser. Like what are we going to do?
Oh, no.
Does someone, do I get to sell your STI, for example?
Oh.
Do you get to sell the BRZ or give my Mini away to someone? I don't know. I'm just...
I would never give you Mini away to someone.
Thank you, mate. This is the bit where I meant to say I'd never give your STI away, but I would. But I wouldn't give the Mirror away. The Mirror and the Mini, they're like old mates. There we go. That's a thing. A couple more fluids to check. And then the car really just needs a bit of a clean-up. Look at this. There's so much. Look at the spider's web in there. Do redbacks live in cars? I know funnel webs live in the ground, but look at that. Who lives in there? Who's in there? Not someone that I want driving around my car, riding around. You know when you drive along and you see a spider go, and you hope he's on the outside and not on the inside. So a little clean-up. A bit of a detail, because it is 90s cars. They've got to be detailed properly. They've got to be up to spec. They've got to be just mirror finished, and then we'll obviously be able to do the challenge of which car turns the most heads. So standard budget mods that you'd see on 90s cars back in the day is every kid would do a pod filter, and then they do either bright white or blue parker lights. So I have some here, and this was this is how people knew that you wanted to race, if that was your thing. If people are coming up behind you and they've got yellow lights on, they're not to be taken seriously. But when a car's in your rear vision and it's got a couple of little winky blue or bright white lights in them, then you know that it's on. So look at that. See, that just means race. That means my NX Coupe is about to chop you hard. So look at this. We'll just get a little comparison from down the front now. Look at the difference between these two options here. So look at that. That says race. That says fast. This here says, I'd better get some toilet paper. This here says, I'm ready. I'm ready to rumble. I'm ready to blow the head gasket. I was going to change the headlights, actually. I was going to change the headlights. I bought these blue plus. I might still see what they look like, but it turns out, I pull this here out. Ow. It's already got some mad little LEDs. Now, I actually don't know what that looks like, but I gather that's just going to be bright as nuts. Oh, look at that. That says I'm going to race as well. That's when you're chasing down your Toyota SERA and you got your LEDs and you got your little blue parkers or your bright white parkers. Was that a thing in your day as well, Martin?
Blue headlights?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and everyone got defected on them, remember?
Yeah, for a while. And then shitty HIDs, that was another thing.
Yep, that was the thing.
I'm a dickhead, remember?
Oh, that's right. Didn't we do a video teaching people how to install those?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But then people didn't adjust them right, or they put them in the wrong kind of light enclosure-y things.
All right, these are the options, people. We have this one, or we have, it's all fancy like. I just got blinded by that light. I can't actually see anymore. Oh, that's yellower, isn't it? Yeah, that's more yellow. Goodbye. I'm getting back to blur. All right. That's it. Going in. That's a hot little mod. Very happy with that. That one on. There we go.
All right, my back chromie's going on. There's not a whole lot I can do at the front at the moment while I'm waiting for some bits. So, chromie is being installed. Boom, just like that. Directional tyres. So you have to make sure you get the right and the left correct, so you get maximum grip. It was a thing. You still see it on some tyres, but it's not as common because then manufacturers always have to make right and lefts. I think they prefer to just make lefts. 18s, so big. It's going to scrub like crazy, but who cares? It's going to be worth it for all the looks I'm going to get when I'm not driving down Church Street. Sick. Sick is the right word. Fully sick. All right, so this old filter needs to come off. I don't think the air filter's been cleaned in a very, very long time. It's pretty chatty. That can go in the bin. I'll just throw a new one on and it will sit in there. And if it doesn't fit, then the bar can be massaged until it does. Thank you, mate.
No worries. Is it going to fit?
It's going to fit, so I'm chopping. There's a cable tie holding this all together. So there's like a little extension pipe
Of course there is.
that I don't need, that puts the, I think the idea was the filter was right near this open grate to try and get airflow, even though the airflow wouldn't go in there. But it would make maximum sound.
Oh, of
but
course.
there's just like a little extension pipe, so I'm just going to not use that and attach my pipe directly to here, which I think will work a bit better.
I was like, why would you be getting air from the side when there's a vent stopping the air going in there? But it's not about what's going in, mate. It's about what's,
What's coming out. That's it. All about performance. It's all about the noise. Oh, hey, I've never seen this before in my life. It's a really good idea to make your what's that called? A clamp, hose clamp, bigger. You put a hose clamp in another hose clamp. You ever seen that before?
I've never seen that.
There you go, you learned something today. I can't imagine why I need to do it, but hey, doesn't mean it's not good to know. All right, so my little extension pipe, Gornskis, and will this fit? That's the question. No, it won't. Great. Fantastic. Awesome. Guess I'm welding something then. I don't think I need to weld anything. I think I can actually just delete that little extension piece and maybe just use this, because that will fit my pod filter. That might be a good little easy solution. Someone's done all the hard yards for me. They've done all the customization. They've made it possible for me to have an easy time, except for that water pump. That sucked. This bit though, the fun stuff, the stuff that matters, the performance enhancing things, are easy.
That's why you should always buy a modified car, Martin.
You should always buy a modified car.
Because all the hard work's done.
Yep. There you go. Look, that's going to work, man. That's a thing of beauty right there. That's going to go on, and that's going to go on, even though that clamp's probably not right. That clamp's, wow, that clamp's smashed. That, no better. Yeah, let's use that one. That'll work. Put that in there, put my pod filter on, job done. Might work really well, actually. It's a good idea. Why not recycle it and use it again? Although this clamp's probably seen better days. Never know though, might do the job. Change my mind. That's way too hard. Using a cable tie, that's gonna take hours. But my pod, yeah, straight on, just like that. Boom, under there, tie it up. It's gonna make mad dosey noises. Love it. Yeah, look at that. It's awesome. Just sorting some of the electricals out in the top of the engine. There's a few sensors and stuff that are disconnected, like factory stuff. There's no airflow meter. There's a lot of these things just floating around, which makes me think maybe it has an aftermarket ECU. I haven't been able to find it. If it's in there, it's buried under all that beige mess. But the only other thing that stopped this car from running properly was the ignition leads. And this one, the one that goes from the coil to the distributor, was completely cactus. So this NGK one I've now put on, and it seems to work a little bit better. These ignition wires are called FMLs, which probably tells you everything you need to know. I tried to order a set of these to suit this engine, but for whatever reason they're different import things because it's an import motor. Sometimes it's hard to get them exactly right. They probably fit a normal starlet, but not a turbo one. There's a few vacuum leads and boost control sides and other stuff that's disconnected. So, but it seems to run. So all I've got to do now is bolt my alternator back on, put my dipstick back in, and fix this engine mount, and this car is ready to roll.
You know what's interesting, Marty, is this is not even a battle about you versus me. This is a battle about whoever modified your car versus whoever modified this car, and you and I are merely the pilots of someone else's creation.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
We're just
whoever
navigating
wins,
these beasts, aren't we? We're navigating these beasts through the journey of their automotive
we're riding
lives.
the dragon.
We are, because these things, you know, this rolled off the plant in Japan or whatever it was 20-something years ago. So did this. Destined for very different lives.
Yeah.
These cars have seen a lot of things, man.
Yeah. And then like someone on this has gone, cool, here's some suspension, here's some body kit stuff, here's some exhaust, here's, you know, who knows what else. Someone on yours has definitely done some body kit and some turbo.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
Gone to
now the reckoning will be which one of them did a better job. But they didn't know they were battling.
No.
So that's the craziness of the cosmos in which we float.
It is. Your wheels are very weak. Weak offset, which is actually stylistically perfect for this era of car.
Yeah, I know, because back then they weren't into having it looking fat.
No,
you
it was
wanted
all
it
about
looking
like,
weak and stilty.
elasticy bands, and it didn't matter if it had like a real weak offset, which means real into the car. I love how you've drilled the wheels.
Is
It
your
just looks excellent.
Is your pod filter going to be dragging on the ground once you lower your car again?
No, man.
It looks really low.
It's perfect. It's just gonna choo-choo and dose like nothing.
Do you want a
you've heard
smaller
before.
one?
No.
Let's put this on.
Don't put that one on. That's the old one. I
Is
don't
it?
want that one. I want that
Is
one.
that the old one?
Yeah.
I got a smaller one if you want.
No.
I got this one here off my 180SX.
I don't want your old pod filter. That's wrecked. Look at it.
You won't get rego like that.
I'm never going to get rego anyway. I wouldn't even bother trying. It's terrible. We've achieved a lot. I'm stoked.
Are we
Very
dropping
happy.
them down?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yep.
Let's drop them down, Martin. Let's get ready for battle. There are a couple of things that are still yet to happen, but I'm going to reveal them to you shortly. There are a couple of things that have to be done, but I'll let you know once we get the cars down.
I just accidentally jacked through a underglow effect, a neon.
There was neons under there?
Yeah, I didn't realise. I've got neons.
Really?
But I just jacked through one.
Why'd you do that?
I didn't mean to. It was on the cross member. I just saw a cross member and went,
Oh, dude, yes, there's neons all along the bottom.
Excellent.
What colour are they?
I don't know, probably green.
Dude, there's a lot of stuff coming out of your car.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
It's just coolant. Don't worry about it.
Dude, look at the underglow.
Got underglow. Excellent. Well, it did.
Are there switches on the inside?
No.
Dude, we need to get that working for sure.
Yeah, you do. You could do that. That'd be good.
All right,
I'm busy.
we're coming down, people. Get ready to see the stance effects.
That looks fat as, dude. You would own Church Street. Oh,
What is it?
that's my underglow, my neon.
Oh, dude.
I broke it. Whoops.
Well, I am stoked with that. The true test right here is, look at that. That's cool. That's low enough, isn't it? Look at the back of it, and it's going to settle even more, I reckon. It's low.
Looks brilliant.
It's chromy.
It looks really good.
It's got Nissan-ness all over it.
It looks brilliant, man. Not even joking.
Oh, should I chop the SERA with the T-top? I got to take these off, don't we? Once we challenge, these have got to come off.
Oh, yeah, you got to be T-top the whole time, man.
Oh,
100%.
man. I'm actually really starting to... Why is there tech screws in the back? Why is that there?
That I don't know.
I'm actually still really starting to like this car, Martin.
Yeah, it looks mad.
Why is this $2,000 and a 180SX is $30,000?
I know the answer.
There is not $28,000 worth of difference just because one engine's that way and one engine's that way. It's not true, Martin.
The engine's the wrong way. I don't know the other reason. It's a big one.
Yeah.
Because Takumi didn't drift it up a mountain in a cartoon like 30 years ago. That's the genesis of so much of this rubbish, man.
Rubbish.
Well, the rubbish JDM, oh, it's some mystery, whatever. Like, it's a Skyline, oh, that's Kajumi and his thing. Like, no one, it's just all bullshit.
What do you mean it's all bullshit?
Do you love it, don't you? Do you love it?
I don't watch it, but I mean, it's like if you're trying to say that MR2s and WRXs and Sylvias are shit, Then
Dude,
I don't even know you anymore.
Let's just cut the shit. Everyone.
Hey Siri, call a marriage counsellor.
Everyone needs to just go and buy a Volkswagen and be done with it. Seriously. Like, let's just come on. Cut it all out. Everyone just needs to go and buy a Volkswagen.
Why?
Because that's all you need. You don't need this NX shiny wheels and this gull wing thing. Like, just go buy a Golf, man. That's what everybody needs to do. They just need to go and buy a Golf.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Martin.
They just need to seriously, like, just go and buy a Golf.
Stop it! Ah! And I never want to hear that garbage from your mouth ever again. You go wash it out with soap. I'll wash it out with soap.
I'm done.
I'll wash your mouth out with soap right now.
I'm so done.
Don't talk that shit in my garage. Yeah, you'd better run, boy.